Today, Nirahara Samyama, second level, fourth day. God. 6 days, sixth day running without food. Today I have a beautiful gift for the whole world. It is from our Dubai center. Wow. Amazing job. It is just unimaginable. It's compiled all my major teachings and photographs and beautifully organized it to give as a gift to all you guys. See, it's such meticulous work. You cannot expect me to praise, I tell you. And if you do some work for 5 years and bring it, where the problem exactly, I'll open that page only. I'll put my hand there only. But I went through for so many days, I could not find any mistake. Not even a spelling mistake. I'm a voracious reader and proofreader also. See, if I see a whole screen, I don't need to read line by line to read proofreading. I'll just capture. God. Such wonderful work. It has everything. It has everything I have shared, beautifully organized. It has everything. He has done Surya Namaskar, Pada Puja chanting, about chakras, about the unclutching, 108 unclutching photographs, and he has given all the kriyas, and he has given all the meditations and what not, so beautifully organized. 2 years he spent on this. God, what a beautiful job they have done by compiling the whole thing. I went through. Much is compilation work only, but such beautiful compilation. It's almost like you see, what I have done is like a Vedas, ocean. But these guys have done the job of Vyasa. The beautiful editing and compiling, and they have done a beautiful Sanskrit glossary. All the Sanskrit words we use in our, I think in Pada Puja, the words I use regularly. I can say they have put me in a nutshell. It's a very beautiful way they have done. I am not a Vyasa to write Puranas. I am a Varaha Avatara, bringing Vedas out of ocean. Varaha Avatara cannot be organized. He will only bring the Vedas out of ocean. And it is Vyasa's responsibility. These guys have done a really beautiful job. I'll call this as encyclopedia. Encyclopedia. En/cyclopedia. See, compiling a person like me is not a joke. You don't know what to collect and what to select and what to leave. See, you have to almost like dive into the ocean to get pearls. I'm like a vast ocean. See, the problem is if you dive into one discourse and the other discourse, you will see I'm completely contradicting myself. But if you listen, I'm only complimenting. I'm not contradicting myself. So you need a tremendous understanding to put one by one. I tell you, if you want to have a complete understanding of me, become a compiler. That's best. You can go on listening. What you, even I enjoy listening and reading my own books. After listening to my own discourse, I feel, wow, what all I said. I enjoy my broken statements, the unbroken concept. See, for example, while I am talking, how? I'll give a break and then say, foolish fellows. Then I'll give a break and say, you need a lot of intelligence to recognize even this foolishness. If you transcribe the statement, it will not make any statement, any meaning. Only if you listen, if you are seeing, it will make a statement. See now, whatever I uttered, remove the visual and transcribe. You will see what is going on. What is he trying to tell? What he is trying to convey? It will not make sense. You won't have a meaning. Only if you catch it visually, along with video, you will be able to grasp exactly what I am saying. There are many things which verbally won't be conveyed. You need to see. I myself will sit and watch and enjoy all that. What a beautiful way organized. I can say this organizing shows how they are experiencing me. And I tell you guys, how the team has presented me will be really useful for the society. Whatever people want from me, like a Kriyas, Nitya Yoga, and the meditations, specific meditations, they are given for a specific purposes. Mainly the unclutching, the different definitions. What people directly want, what will be directly useful for them, people. See, I am like a huge forest. You don't know which one you should eat and which one you should wear. No? There are some plants you should eat. There are some plants you should wear. There are some plants with which you can make home. So I am like a forest. You don't know. Out of which you can make food, out of which you can make shelter, out of which you can make cloth. If you change, what will happen? Understand? See, out of rice you can make food. Out of hay you can make a house. So if you make hay food as a food and rice as a house, which we are doing in the modern day, the paddy pads have become house. The hay is getting ground and becoming food, cereal. Out of forest, getting your food, clothes, shelter is a great job. These guys have done that job. I'll move to the morning satsang. Start the questions.
The first question today is from Bridget Feaster, IA ID card number 48, who's saying, Swamiji, in the Western world, human beings have engrams and samskaras related to the fear of the divine because of the resistance to enlightenment. Please comment. Will you please remove the engrams and samskaras? Thank you.
Bridget Feaster, you are wrong when you say in the Western world human beings have engrams and samskaras related to the fear of divine. All over the world, in all religions, in all traditions, human beings have fear of divine. Understand, whether it's a primitive traditions where the gods are worshipped with the big swords, the asuric qualities, wild, whether in those primitive traditions or the most subtle, evolved, philosophical, theological traditions, in every tradition, every part of the world, human beings have engrams and samskaras related to the fear of divine. See, the primitive traditions, people feel their body is they. They don't know anything more than their body, about themselves. So they are afraid that divine may take away their body from them. In the highest subtle, most subtle Vedantic traditions, theology traditions, philosophical traditions, people feel their identity is they. And again they are afraid divine may take away their identity. When the way it rushes into their system, the speed with which it rushes into your system, you are always afraid you may just disappear into that. No? Always future moves towards the past with the fear, and past moves towards the future with greed. Understand? Future moves towards the past with the fear. It should not be repeating the past. Past moves itself into the future that it should be repeating itself. Because past is known, on which you are grounded. Because the future is unknown, about which you have a deep insecurity. Understand? Even the fears future carries is from the past, and the greed, the possibility past carries is from the future. Listen once more. The past, which is dead, has a smell of hope, possibility, because of the breeze from future. The future, which is yet to happen, which has no life, which is like a ghost, carries the smell of fear, which is the breeze from past. Understand? A dead body, a soul which is yet to assume the body. Dead body, past. The soul which is yet to assume the body, future. This has a smell of this, and this has a smell of this. The soul which is yet to assume the body has a smell from the past. The dead body has a smell from this ghost. Ghost has a smell of dead body. Dead body has a smell of ghost. Dead body is past. Ghost, which is yet to assume the body, is future. When you completely disconnect yourself from the smell which moves from the dead body past to the future, Sava can become Shiva. Then Ghost becomes your Ganas. Dead body is past. Ghosts are future. The center present is Shiva. If you don't find Shiva, you will be afraid of dead bodies past and constantly be threatened by the ghosts. But if you realize the present, without the influence of these two, you will become Shiva, and ghosts will become servants to you. Future will be serving you. The Bhuta Ganas will be serving you. Understand, whether you create an idea about the world, you create an idea about the human society, people around you, you create the idea about yourself, you create the idea of God. Only these are the four major things. Yourself, the nature world, the human society, and God. About all four, you will always have fear projection and greed projection. Whether you are in the east or the west or the north or south. I don't know why humanity is so obsessed with only eastern and western traditions. Why we never talk about northern and southern traditions? You think there are no people there? No, there are people. in the northern and southern traditions. Northern part of the country and southern part of the country, there are people. Why we never talk about the northern and southern? I tell you, the Kailash itself is from Canada. Originally, when the Lemurian part was up in the sky, the Kailash was in Canada, the north zone. So the main spiritual civilization should be called as northern civilization, not eastern civilization. It is wrong to call it as eastern civilization. You should call it as northern civilization. East and west changes based on the movements. North and south does not change by any movements. Understand? In the directions north and south is eternal. It is based on the frequency, the magnetic frequency, the vibration. East and west is continuously changing based on the movements of planet. If you go and sit in the moon or sun, east and west will change, but north and south will not change. For the whole universe, north and south does not change, but east and west always changes. Come on, go and sit in moon. The east and west will be different, but north and south will not be different. Because it is frequency based. North and south is calculated based on the magnetic frequency or the energy based. East and west is calculated based on it is relative. East and west is relative. North and south is absolute. Actually, for any absolute things, we should start referring with north and south, not east and west. Even in Vedic calendar, much of the things are calculated. See, in the Vedic calendar, the Vedic astrology and everything, only the time is calculated based on based on east and west. But the predictions itself happens based on north and south. Of course, it's too big subject. Now I don't want to open that. Maybe when I speak on astrology, I'll explain. So whether you are from eastern, western, northern, southern, it is whether related to divine or the human society or the world or yourself, past radiates the smell of hope, future radiates the smell of fear. On ghost, dead body is heavy. On the dead body, ghost is sitting. Past moves always towards the future with hope, greed. Future moves always into the past with the fear. Just see, I tell you, understanding these qualities of time will liberate you from time this moment. Then you can understand, by nature this is the way it is going to be. I am going to always have fear, always have greed, till I get enlightened. Why should I bother about the present fears and greed? Let me be free and do what needs to be done by not being continuously affected by these two. If I am not going to be afraid of A, I am going to be afraid of B. If I am not going to be afraid of B, I am going to be afraid of C. Till I reach the E. I am always going to be afraid of A, B, C, D, R. Understand? Till I reach E. I am always going to be afraid of A or B or C or D. This is life. So then, let me not give too much of importance to the cause of fear, let me give more importance to the attitude of fear. Let me not give too much of importance to the cause of hope. Let me give more importance to the attitude of hope. The man who starts giving more priority to the attitude of fear and greed than the cause of fear and greed is sannyasi. Understand? When you give more importance to the attitude of fear, attitude of greed, you start working on that. If you are giving importance to the cause of fear or cause of greed, you start working on that. Cause of fear, cause of greed can cost your life, I tell you. Can cost your life for nothing. You will be just selling your whole wealth to buy a mattress. Can you give up your whole house to buy a mattress? Even if you have it, where will you put it? Even if it's a mattress made out of diamond, where will you put it? I think you guys understand. This statement, let me make this statement very clear. Let me put it in this more detailed words. The object of fear, an object of hope, the attitude of fear, the attitude of hope. If you are working on the object, it's going to cost your whole life. If you are working on the attitude, you will be enlightened this moment. The man who decides to work on the attitude is a sannyasi. The man who has decided to work on the attitude is a brahmana, because as long as the past is moving into the future and future is moving towards the past, it is going to be with fear and greed. I tell you, whether you are a person making 300 rupees per day for your livelihood, or sitting on $1 billion, unless you solve the root problem. I wanted today's subject to be syllabus in our Gurukul. This should be taught to our Gurukul kids. Understand? Work on the attitude, not just on the cause. Work on the attitude so that life is overflowing. See, I am like a tsunami. Every day, if you just attend the morning satsang, nothing else is required. I tell you, today, at least next 48 hours, I'll be gripping your consciousness with this one idea. It is like if somebody grips you on your stomach and lifts, what will happen? Everything will be cleaned. Whether it is in the form of solid, liquid, air, your stomach will be cleaned. Same way, I grip your very consciousness and lift you with this one idea, at least for next 48 hours. I am 100% sure you will not understand it completely now. And I am 100% sure I will not let you forget what I said now. In Vedanta tradition, there are 3 words: Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana. Listening, contemplating, living. The master who speaks should be such. He uses your Shravana as a door, enters into Manana and does the cooking, makes you eat and live as Nididhyasana. It's like now these words I uttered, will enter into your system through listening. Now, the words are told in such a way you neither completely understood nor completely missed it. If you completely understood, you will not be remembering it. You will put it in your dove hole, brain, and go for the next job. You should not be completely understanding it. Wow. It is like one of our devotee called me to inaugurate a huge, beautiful building done in chocolate and ice cream. Some cake museum. Maybe I think 3-4 years before. I went and inaugurated in Bangalore only. Out of cake they make cake, chocolate and ice cream, all that. They make a beautiful big building, even 20 feet tall. Like that building only. They asked me to eat the entrance. I said, I cannot eat and all. I'll inaugurate and then eat little bit. Because the entrance itself is like a 4 feet. That is also made out of cake. I said, I cannot eat the whole gate and all. I'll eat the lock. They made a lock. I said, I'll eat only the lock and the key. So when you start eating that cake, you know it is tasty and you know you are not completed. You have to now go in. So all the great truths should be told as a cake home, cake house. You should say, ah. And the cake will be put in your mouth. Once you finish and open again your mouth, and some more will go inside. So all truth should be told in this way. So you go on chewing, whole day, whole night. By the time you finish the cake, you are full. Now meditate on this. There will never be a future entering into the past without hope. Stop all hopes. See whether the future enters into the past. Stop all fear. Whether the past enters into the future. I can put the other way also. Stop all the hope. See whether the past enters into the future. Stop all the fear. Whether the future enters into the past. Because all fear is rooted in past. All hope is rooted in future. It's a smell of the other crossing into the other's boundary. That is why our life is nothing but dead bodies and ghosts. Sometimes the ghosts enter in the dead body and do the dance. Sometimes dead bodies enter into the ghost and do the dance. Smashana without Shiva is a dangerous place to live. Understand? Shiva is the present moment. Without catching the present moment, living with past and future is staying in Smashana. Don't stay there just because Shiva stayed there. Become Shiva and stay there. Past is a weight pulling you to the Batala. Future always gives you the hope and tries to make you fly. Only in the present you are grounded. Grounded in reality. So it has nothing to do with west or east. Brigade, understand, till you reach the E, you are always going to be afraid or greed about A, B, C, D.
The next question is from Aarti Desai, how do we get children to listen to us without putting fear or greed in them? Thank you for everything. Aarti Desai.
How do we get children to listen to us without putting fear or greed in them? By spending a lot of time with them. The more time you spend with them, you will bring them to certain understanding. I tell you, when you spend more time with them, kind of a tuning happens with them. They trust your very body language. You don't need to scream at them. You don't need to give them greed or fear. Just your very body language gives them secured feeling. They feel connected. Many times, even with our ashramites. See, these ashramites also bringing up kids only. Grown-up kids, that's all. So more work, nothing else. With Gurukul at least less work. With ashramites more work. Grown-up kids only. Many times, all I'll try to do is, just if they, around my body language, much of their being settles. Spend time with them. Let them be around you. Even while you sleep, let them just be around you. This will give them a kind of a feeling connection, tuning, where your inspiration is enough to raise them. Nothing else is required. Without fear and greed, or minimal fear and greed, you will be able to make them listen to you. And in this process, you also won't tell all foolish, nonsensical things. Otherwise, you have so much of foolishness, you dump all that on your kids. Don't use them as a drainage. Understand? Use them as a refrigerator. No. Keeping what you want for future. But many times you use them as a drainage. Dumping what you don't want from the past. Kids are not drainage, they are refrigerator. To understand this, you need a washing machine. Which is spiritual teachings. You woke up very late. Many times you will see your tension, frustration, you take out on them. So you use them more like a drainage. Use them like a refrigerator. Hey, they are my future. So what I want for future, I'll keep in them. If you want love in the old age, keep love in them. If you want security in the old age, keep security in them. If you want honesty in the old age, keep honesty in them. So they are refrigerator. Don't behave like a drainage. Today I am frustrated, I'll vomit on them. Then that only will come back to you in the old age. So all the kids can have a small paper or sheet stuck on them, t-shirt. I am a refrigerator, your future, not the drainage for your past. This can be a beautiful t-shirt slogan for kids. Hey, why don't you make this t-shirt and give it to all the engineers kids? I am a refrigerator for your future, not the drainage of your past. Drain of your past. So, handle me properly. Handle with care. Keep only straight. How in all the packed items there are 6-7 symbols, umbrella means no rain, and 6-7 symbols. I'll make 6-7 symbols and make a symbol t-shirt for kids. Parents should, when they see, oh, I have to handle all this way. Handling instructions. Handling instructions. So essence is, Aarti Desai, just spend little time. Time with the kids, that's all, nothing else. Nothing else. I tell you, you are a grown-up body. Your presence makes the kids to evolve your level. Same way, a grown-up consciousness, master, his presence makes people evolve to his level. That's all. Now because of the technology, my presence is literally available. Virtually I am present through virtual presence. I tell you, I think I am the first master who used the virtual presence so much. Every day. And I am also working on some more things. Maybe by the end of this year we will be able to launch.
Paramahamsa Nityananda, a rare living incarnation, is named among the world's 100 most spiritually influential personalities today. Paramahamsa Nityananda has been placed alongside Dalai Lama, Nelson Mandela, Oprah Winfrey, Paulo Coelho and others by Mind, Body, Spirit, the world's top esoteric magazine from Watkins, London's oldest and largest bookstore. A yogi by birth, he has been expressing his power of enlightenment since birth. He has authored more than 500 books in Tamil and English. Translations of these books are available in 26 languages in Telugu, Kannada, Malayalam, Hindi, Sanskrit, Gujarati, Oriya, Bengali, Marathi, French, Malay, Polish, Portuguese, Italian, German, Danish, Spanish, Russian and Chinese. He is also an exemplary speaker with over 10,000 hours of profound life solutions through his discourses. Social services such as Annadan, free medical care, free educational services with ashrams, schools, temples, hospitals established in more than 140 places around the world, offering exceptional services. A powerful spiritual healer who has healed millions of people of diseases from migraine to cancer. A Kriya Yogi who has formulated Kriyas for physical health and mental well-being, benefiting thousands. A living master who offers practical solutions for our everyday problems. He is the founder and spiritual head of Nityananda Dhyanapitham, a spiritual powerhouse who has revived the sacred Vedic tradition by establishing Vedic temples in places like Los Angeles, San Jose, Seattle, Toronto, Ohio, Oklahoma, Phoenix, St. Louis, Malaysia, Brazil, Paris, Guadeloupe, Dallas, New York, New Jersey, Atlanta, Calgary, Vancouver, Singapore, and places in India like Bengaluru, Hyderabad, Tiruvannamalai. A spiritual guru for 10 million followers, an incarnation who transmits the highest spiritual energy through initiation, a contemporary yogi who has revived the Vedic science of yoga worldwide through thousands of yoga centers, an adept in Ashtamahasiddhis, mystical yogic powers, who has effortlessly awakened the Kundalini of thousands and graced them with spiritual powers, a dynamic young guru who is an inspiration for thousands of youngsters. India's most watched spiritual guru online, a beacon of spiritual light, who has triumphed over the forces of religious terrorism and political persecution. Paramahamsa Nityananda is an eternal Kalpataru, blessing the world with the boons of material abundance and spiritual enlightenment.
आनन्दानुभवास्वादं सर्वरोगनिवारकं वन्दे पापविनाशक्तं नित्यानन्दाय स्वागतं नित्यमुक्तं निर्विकल्पं ध्यानलोकप्रदीपकं वन्दे शान्तमयं बन्धं नित्यानन्दाय स्वागतम् आनन्दगन्धसञ्चारं सर्वोपाधिविनिर्मुक्तं वन्दे ज्ञानालयं नाथं नित्यानन्दाय स्वागतम्.
Let you all achieve, experience, live, express, radiate, share and explode in eternal bliss. Nityananda.
Nityananda Dhyanapitham, Nityananda Nagar off Mysore Road, Bidadi, Bangalore 562109. Contact 097422033311. www.nityananda.org. www.youtube.com/Life Bliss Foundation.